Hey guys, welcome back to the Sweaty Palms podcast. I'm officially pulling Sweaty Palms out of retirement. Woo! So we'll have more regularly scheduled episodes coming up. Full disclosure, this episode was recorded last year and I'm just getting around to posting it now. The best excuse I have is that life gets in the way sometimes, but this is a great episode. I got to interview my friend Izzy, and a couple notes since it was recorded last year. She's graduating now this December. Her 5 to 10 year plan has changed. I love Izzy. She's wonderful, and I really hope to have her back soon after she graduates and we can talk about her professional life and what she's gotten into in the industry. So let's get into more about Izzy and what we talked about on this episode. Izzy DJs in Athens. She's the head of a music collective called Afterglow that puts on shows around Athens and promos the local Athens music scene. Speaking of, she has an event coming up called Earth Day Every Day. This is their third installment, which is a really cool event. If you guys want to learn more about it or attend it, you can check out Afterglow's Instagram. I'll put all her socials and everything in the bio below. On top of Afterglow, she also works for 1824, which is a UMG sub-label group. And then along with her DJing career, she also is part of the Nightshade Family and hosts open decks at Mai Kai, a kava place in Athens, every other Thursday. So without further ado, let's get into this week's episode. So you do DJing, and you've been a DJ in Athens for how long? Like, when did that start, and how did you get into it?
Maybe a year ago, a little over a year ago, I bought a little deck, a DDJ 400, a little DJ controller. And I was just doing it for fun. I heard that there was this thing called open decks, which is like an open mic night for DJs. And I was like, okay, I got this thing. Maybe 3 months from now, I'll practice and I'll go to this free open decks that nobody goes to. But within like a week, I was working on this team that throws festivals, pop-up shows in Atlanta. Cool. And they needed a DJ. And they were like, Izzy, didn't you just start DJing? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, do you want to do it? And so I got thrown into a 200 person crowd with full LED screen and lights, full production after having DJ'd for like a week.
No way.
Yeah. And honestly, it was an amazing experience, but because of the equipment I had, I did good, but the sound didn't work out. So literally in front of 200 something people, I completely just bombed a set. No. And it was my first time ever DJing, but at the same time, it makes me feel kind of invincible now because I'm like, okay, if I could do that my first time and completely just fuck up, then, you know, I've conquered anything. Now I'm not afraid of anything. Like, I just did that in front of 200 people in Atlanta. I can definitely take this back to Athens and do it in front of 50 you know?
Where'd you find the confidence to just be like, yeah, I can do that?
Actually, it's funny. My New Year's resolution was to be more uncomfortable.
I read that on one of your posts. Yeah. Your post. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. And it was like pretty much this time last year is right at the beginning of the new year. So you know how your New Year's resolutions are way more strong at the beginning.
Yeah.
And so that was like, you know, say yes to things that you don't want to say yes to. So, and that was right when that came up. So I just said yes and did it.
What venue?
It was at a club in Buckhead called Misfits. I was working with a group that's kind of not really a thing. They're kind of dormant now, but it's called Chillerpalooza. Cool.
I remember you handing out flyers for that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was a great idea. Hopefully one day it'll be one thing, but it was kind of all behind like one guy who's not really in the scene anymore.
Gotcha.
So what was the question?
I forgot.
Okay. Yeah. It was cool. It was cool. Rest in peace.
I think you answered it. What kind of music do you typically play?
So I play like bass music, EDM. I like to play weirder stuff. I like to play house too. Everybody likes house. I like house. Yeah. I like to play some like trap and rap and some things that, you know, it's like more popular, but I really like the underground bass scene. And since it was in Buckhead and it was a free show, half of the crowd there was high schoolers. It felt like that were just like, they didn't care about the music. Yeah. They were like, I looked into their eyes and they were all just like so faded. So that also helped because it seemed like nobody really even noticed because everyone was just so gone at that point in the night.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Yeah. And then after that was when I joined music business, or it was like halfway through music business, and we got assigned the microcosm of the music industry project, which for all you listeners out there is basically we got assigned a project where you had to take on the role of what you would want to do in the industry. So if you wanted to be a booking agent, go find somebody in the class who's an artist that wants to get booked. If you want to be a manager, find an artist, go manage them, book some shows, promo, all of that. So me and my two friends, we started Afterglow, which is kind of a music collective. We wanted to promo local music and also throw awesome shows. So I started throwing shows for myself through that. That was how I got like a lot of my shows at the beginning, was just throwing big events with a lot of people and also throwing myself in there. And then,
as you should.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit, just a little set. Slide in there. But these group in Athens called Nightshade, they came to one of my events and they talked to me after, and that was kind of how I started expanding. They were like, do you want to play this event we have every month where we get 4 new DJs from Athens? And I was like, oh my God, a real event? Yes. One that I'm not planning? Yes. So yeah, I've been involved in Nightshade ever since. That's honestly where I'm doing most of my stuff. They throw in a lot of really awesome shows in Athens. Gotcha. And I'm really behind what they're trying to do, which is basically keep the underground EDM scene alive, and alive specifically in Athens. It feels like a lot of collectives and just music people, you know, they get big in Athens just to move to Atlanta and beyond. But they're very set about sticking to Athens and just growing that scene.
So can you tell me what your favorite show is that you've been to, whether it was here at Atlanta and then your favorite one that you performed at?
Oh my God, that's so
Big
hard.
Question. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I've been going to shows for so long now. Not even that long, but I mean, I started in high school, you know, and then that was 4 years ago because I'm a senior in college now. Oh my gosh. Okay, favorite event I've DJ'd at has to be either this past New Year's. The vibes were just so good, and it was New Year's where everybody is just so happy. Nightshade threw that event. Nice. I don't know. I think the vibes in the air just made it good. And same with the other favorite show I might have to say is Nightshade threw this event under a bridge on the Greenway. It was a full moon, and also the energy was just so good. Oh my God. Yeah. And I feel like sometimes when I'm DJing, it's really hard to get out of my own head, or, you know, or just like in life, it's hard to get out of my own head. And I know I've done a good set when, you know, you're just so in the moment and you just flow. And sometimes it doesn't even feel like I'm DJing. It just feels like I'm with the crowd of people. We're all just dancing together. But I see my hands moving. It's like a really cool kind of like a flow experience. That's what I crave in it, honestly, because it just feels really amazing and natural. You know, it's crazy because when I first joined music business, I would not have considered myself a musician by any means. I wasn't DJing yet, and I wasn't really pursuing other musical things as hard. But then, you know, just one semester later, I came back and I was like, I'm a DJ now.
Hell yeah.
And now, like, with the help of my community and people who always have my back, I'm finally okay enough to be like, yes, I am a musician. I'll say it. I do stuff music-wise.
It's crazy to me to hear you talk about you being nervous. And I know everybody does get nervous, but I never picture you that way. Because every time I've ever talked to you or hung out with you, or we've been in a conversation, or I've seen you interact with other people, you're just so kind of free flowing like water and just chill and just seem like a person with great energy. And I just had to tell you that.
Thank you so much. Boom. I'm glad that my nervousness doesn't come out.
Not even a little bit.
I feel like a lot of that is my anxiety that's like, okay, act natural, y'all. But thank you. I think this last year I've gained a lot more of that energy back. I felt very chaotic for a second, but right now I feel very good. I feel very chill. I feel very confident, which is a hard thing to feel sometimes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I feel good right now. So thank you for saying that. I definitely do get nervous, especially before a show. I think it's slowly getting better. I don't know if this feeling ever goes away, but before a show, sometimes I really I'm shitting myself.
I think too, it's like you don't let the fear stop you. You push through it and continue to do it anyway.
That is the mindset that I found that, I mean, it came honestly from that whole be more uncomfortable thing. And I think COVID had a lot to do with it, you know, just from being inside and being so withdrawn, and then coming out of that and just being like, I want to do stuff. What the hell do I have to lose? You know, just with anything, it's a fun life and there's no reason not to just have fun with it. I'm confident every year I'm going to learn more and become wiser and more loving. And it's a great life we're living. You know, I'm very grateful that I have what I have.
Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? Where do you want to be?
I love talking about this because I'm trying to manifest this. All I really want is a big old piece of land that I can have my own space on and have my friends come, like they can get their own little part of the land. Kind of like commune vibes.
Yeah,
but
I like it.
Yeah,
but
not culty.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like we're still connected to society, but like I want to be able to have land and a house that I could pass down onto my kids and that I could throw festivals on. I don't feel the need to go be a famous DJ. I want to keep it fun. And it's something, I mean, I'm hoping I'll always do, but I don't know, maybe life will take me somewhere else.
Right.
But definitely, I just want to have the space, the land where I can do whatever I want and not have to worry about, I don't know.
Noise ordinances.
Yeah, exactly. Literally.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, and I want to throw like really cool festivals that are super healing, like meditation retreats and shit like that.
We have to hang out outside of this.
Yes,
like,
we do.
Just do.
I feel like we're both really busy.
Yeah, we are, but we can figure it out.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah, just tell me when your next show is, and I'll show up. And,
Okay.
Yeah, problem solved.
Every other Thursday at Mai Kai, the kava place in Athens, I host open decks.
Nice.
So that's, I think I said that earlier, but it's like an open mic night, but for DJs.
Okay.
That's an event I've been doing for maybe like 9 months now or something crazy like that. Every other Thursday.
I've actually never been there, so I'm marking it.
Out.
Yeah,
try some kava.
Yeah. So I know you work for Warner Music Group, right? Or no. Warner. What is it?
Oh my gosh, you named the enemy.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Universal.
Universal, yes.
Music Group. And it's in conjunction with 1824, right? So how are you balancing that with school? And can you talk a little bit about what that is for people who don't know?
Well, so Universal Music Group is one of the big 3 labels, but I work for a sub team. It's kind of its own thing. It's called 1824 because it's only for people from the 18 to 24 demographic, mostly college students across the country. And we're meant to be like the ears to the ground, hit all of the local outlets and not just the big ones like Billboard and Complex, and creating trends on social media too. And the whole thing that we're trying to do is connect fans to local things through storytelling experiences. That's the big line. So I really enjoy it because I get to reach out to people in the Athens community. I'm the only representative in Athens. Been reaching out to all the radio stations and blogs. I'm still doing that. So if anybody's listening and you have anything, an outlet, a blog, a magazine, hit me up. I'll connect you. And so how do I balance that? Fall semesters are always just so busy. It's like everything every weekend and there's so much music happening and everyone's on tour. How do I balance it? I don't know. Yeah, a lot of coffee. I really try to make 1824 work with things that I'm already doing. Because like I said, I have Afterglow with me and my friends and we're still throwing events under that. So I feel like I was pretty connected already with a lot of PR things in Athens. So I really try to make it all kind of work because it is all for the same reason. It's for the same vision. It's to bring music people together, to bring fans together. Oh my gosh.
The cats are fighting in the background.
Yeah, that's my cats fighting. I wonder if they can hear that.
I hope it got picked up. It's kind of funny. Do you think you're going to stay with Universal Music Group after you graduate? Make that into your career, your first job? Basically,
1824 is kind of separate in the way that it's not like you get promoted within. It's kind of its own team.
Oh, okay.
And so we work for all of the other labels that UMG owns too.
Okay.
So once we get to the point where we're like grown out of 1824, it's kind of up to us and like our management helps us, but to find a job within those connections we've made just somewhere within maybe people we've worked with, or you know, it's like we're connected to all of the labels that we own, but it's kind of up to us after that. So I want to give it at least like a year of seeing what that life is like, because I'll probably have to move to LA or Nashville or New York or something. So I want to give it time and see if it's something I want to do. If it is, I'm all for it, but I'm going to give it a year and then rethink after that. You know, I just want to be financially stable, and after that, I'm chilling with whatever I do.
Sounds like a good plan.
Right, just be financially stable first, and then I would like to keep throwing events and keep DJing, and with DJing or with production too, because I'm starting with that. It's like something that I'm putting energy towards because I enjoy it, not because I need money from it. It's nice to get paid, you know, for it, but that's something that when I first started DJing, it was actually kind of crazy. I felt like I got gigs like every weekend. They were all smaller stuff, but it was still, you know, for just starting a DJ, it was a lot. It was parties and events every single weekend. And it got to a point where it was stressful. And then I was stressed about DJing, which it should just be something that's just fun for everybody. But I was like, got to prepare a set. And since, like I said, I just got thrown into it, I had to like find music and figure out how the fuck to DJ. And so it was really stressful. And, you know, after like maybe like 6 months of that, I took a step back and gigs stopped coming in so much. I guess I stopped seeking them so much and it became fun again. And that's kind of when I realized that maybe it's not something I want to push towards career-wise. It's just something that I always want to be fun. And if it is a career, I'd like hope that I could keep it fun. And that's why the financial stability comes in, because it's like if I can just have the ability to do it for fun and not have to rely on it, that would be sweet. Sweet.
It's like that saying, like, money doesn't buy you happiness, but it buys you freedom.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Money doesn't buy you happiness, but I ain't never seen anybody sad on a jet ski.
Exactly. Me. You need to put that in your Instagram bio, just like quote that. It'd be funny. Okay, so following up from what you said, how do you DJ?
Yeah, okay. Step 1. Have good music taste.
And what does that look like? What does that mean? And it just
well, that's relative. Because also, I tell people I'm a DJ, and most people's perception of a DJ is someone who's in a club. But I don't really play music like that. I don't really play top 40s or rap. I play like bass and EDM. So it's a little different in the sense that when I play, most of the time, it's been an actual show at a venue, not me playing at a club. So good music to me is like, sometimes when I'm discovering music, I'll do it while I'm like reading a book or something. And when a bass drops and I have to stop reading to like nod my head and be like, oh, this sounds good. That's when I save it, because it, I don't know, it made me like stop and be like, oh, dang, that's good. But also people have to like it, obviously, because you're playing for people. And that's a little different than other types of performances and artistry. DJing is reading a room and seeing what will make these people dance, you know, like what will get people moving. So step 1 is good music. Step 2 is basic music theory, the most basic. With today's technology, if we were 30 years ago, there's no button that says beat sync. You have to be able to listen to it, and you're on vinyl, and it takes a lot of skill to get to those. Now, if you want to be a DJ, you can download a program on your computer and it's very accessible. But you do need to know basic music theory in terms of like 1, 2, 3, 4, like everything's in 4 beats. Keys are very important. So beat matching and key matching, from there, honestly, you're good. That's the biggest thing.
Did you watch YouTube videos or anything?
Definitely YouTube videos. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Because it looks so crazy, but then once you figure it out, you realize what everything does, and then it's not too hard, which is nice, because it's like really easy to get a base of what DJing is. It's way easier to have fun with it and add your own mix on top, because we have all this crazy technology. You can sample, you can do all this crazy stuff, add effects. Because like I said, I do open decks, which is open mic night for DJs. And I've seen a lot of people who come and are beginners also. It is a very beginner friendly kind of event. And I've seen them grow within just like the time I've been doing the event. They come and be like, this is my first time DJing, and they get it pretty fast.
I feel like the hardest part is just starting, right?
Yeah.
And getting over the hump of like teaching yourself.
I think a lot of like old heads would disagree with me. In the DJ community, there's a huge
Wait, I'm learning so much.
Well, the beat sync button is a hot topic, because like I said, old DJs, they didn't have the thing that said beat sync. So most of DJing is literally just making 2 songs like flow together and transitioning, and you have to have the ear for it to like beat sync 2 drums on track. That's what DJing is. And so the beat sync button, which just puts 2 tracks on time with each other, that kind of destroys what DJing is, like the basics of it. So like, a lot of like older DJs will shit on people and be like, if you use a beat sync button, you're not a real DJ. But honestly, to all of those people, I say get with the times. Also, I always see it on comments on Instagram videos, and it's all just, you know, people trying to learn, and they're having fun and expressing themselves. And so what if there's something that makes it easier? And I do think it's still a skill you should learn. but I don't see what everyone's so mad about. Maybe because I'm just a young DJ. Y'all come at me in the comments. I'll take you on.
When I interview you in 10 years from now, we'll talk about this again.
Yeah, because technology will probably like 10 years from now, I'll be like,
the beats button doesn't even exist
yeah, exactly.
anymore.
Something else. Just like, 10 years from now, DJs don't even exist. It's just robots.
Yeah, exactly. We're not here. I can't interview you. Yeah. We're in the metaverse somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We'll link up in the metaverse 10 years from now. Sounds good.
God, terrifying. I don't really know if this question applies anymore because of what we've talked about, but what is your end goal for DJing? Like, I don't feel like you necessarily have one. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's something I really enjoy, and I want to grow in DJing.
Yeah.
But it's like how I said with school. It's just not something I want to stress myself out about. You know, I think it would be really cool to play some festivals. From what I've seen, I just think if you're determined enough, I mean, with most things too, like dreams come true. If you just really actually work hard towards what you want, you'll get it. And I've seen that with other DJs. It's years of hard work, but you get to big places. And so that's why it's like, if I'm not 100%, I don't know if I'll grow. So I'm back and forth about it. I definitely would love to play, for one, at this club in Atlanta. I would love to play Iris because that's where I discovered raving. I think that's attainable. I just need to get some good mixes out. And then after that, Iris is owned by the same people who run the Atlanta Music Festival, Imagine. So I would love to even just get like a late night Renegade set or something there, which also it seems attainable. Like nothing seems that impossible anymore now that I kind of see how the industry works, and it's all connections based, and half of it is if people fuck with you and if you have like a good personality and good energy, which I think I have a relatively good personality.
You do.
Yeah, thank you. Validating. Which, you know, that like really gets you far, not only in the music industry, but in life, is just being an actually good person.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I guess end goal, those are some hard goals, you know, but soft goals, never not have fun. That's the goal. Okay. Never not have fun when I'm DJing. I don't want it to be stressful.
Scratch the thing that I said earlier you should put on your Instagram bio. That is what
never not have fun. Exactly. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, quote yourself. Yeah. Oh, okay. This I just thought was really funny, and I want to know. How did you come up with the name for your Instagram handle?
Oh, Psychic Banana.
Yeah, I literally, when you followed me, I was like, who's this?
Who the fuck is Psychic Banana?
And then I was like, oh my God, it's Izzy. This is amazing. Can you tell me the backstory?
Me and my friends were smoking a blunt. And I think that's okay to say. My mom knows I smoke. It's okay. It's off hours. I don't do it on the clock. Okay. We were smoking a blunt late one night. And I don't even know, like it just came up in conversation, and my roommate that you just met, she goes, Izzy, that's you're Psychic Banana. I was like, oh my God, yes. And that's when I changed it. And sometimes I think about changing it to something else because everyone thinks that's my DJ name or like my performance name, but it's just a goofy Instagram handle.
I like that.
I think it sums me up because I feel like a very deep spiritual person with a very goofy exterior, and I like to not take things very seriously, so I feel like Psychic Banana, it's just like those two words together really hit the soul.
I love it. Okay, great. Well, I just want to know the background of that. Tell me what your DJ name is.
Izzy.
Okay,
period.
Izzy, period.
Yeah, just Izzy, because I got thrown into DJing. Yeah. And I got shows before I knew it, and I was learning as I was going. I didn't really have time to think of a whole brand. Yeah. And then Izzy feels like it just kind of stuck. And I'm still thinking of one, but I've never found anything that I completely resonate with. It feels like a lot of pressure because like with a band, you know, you got a lot of people. It's not you. Right. And it's like a name that represents me. That's kind of hard. I like Psychic Banana, but it's too goofy for like full branding. I don't know. Like it doesn't sound right.
I actually really like it, but I also really like Izzy too because I feel like it's poetic in a weird way because it's like you are the music and so you are your name.
And yeah, and that's one thing that I've also kept with it is that I like it because it feels like it doesn't limit me to anything. Like I'm not just DJ Psychic Banana or whatever. I'm just Izzy. I happen to DJ, but I also do a lot of other things. Right. And Izzy does all of those things, and it's all encompassing too. to that. So
I really like that.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even like to be like I'm a DJ. I just like to say that I DJ.
Perfect.
Because it feels like it limits, I don't know.
So I started like a new segment where I ask people song of the week. What's a song that you would recommend everybody to listen to?
Can I pull out my phone?
Yeah, do it, of course.
Okay, what have I been playing?
Sometimes one is limiting, so if you want to do a couple, you can, or do your favorite, or
Oh my gosh, let's see. There's one just super chill song that I've been listening to. It's called Clarity by Angelic Root. I like dancing to that one. I've been dancing to that a lot. One song I can't get over is Funnel of Love by Wanda Jackson too. Very different vibes, but I love Wanda Jackson's voice. I'll also say my top artist of the year, it seemed random. I didn't think that I listened to her that much. But it's this artist Big Pig, Biigpiig, Big Pig. And she's really good. She's going to the next festival I'm going to, so I'm really excited. What kind of music? It's like girly. Like girly indie bedroom. For being in the music industry, I should be better at like describing songs.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm like, I just like it.
Yeah, if it slaps, it slaps. People ask me what I DJ all the time, and there's so many subgenres of EDM, and I'm still learning about more every day. And so it's sometimes I just hate that question because I'm like, damn, like I don't know what I DJ in like fancy terms. I DJ deep wubs.
My favorite kind of people are the ones that don't know really like how to describe something. They just like, I like what I like, and that's how it is. Maybe that's because that's what I am.
Yeah, that's how I am too. Yeah, maybe that's why we like each other.
Yeah, here we go. So we kind of already touched on this before, but I'd love to go back to it. If you could tell me more about Afterglow and the process behind it and how you came up with the idea.
So me, Zaina, and Martini, we all met in music business, and we make a very interesting trio because we all have very different vibes. Zaina is the lead singer in her feminist punk band. Martini makes bedroom rap, hyper pop rap. It's really crazy music, but I really enjoy it, and their lyrics are really awesome. Cool. And then I DJ. We all have very different connections within Athens too. So when we all came together, it worked out really well because it felt like we all just brought very different kinds of people together to an event, and it made the event super magical, really, truly. And all the events we've thrown have just been this crazy energy I can't describe. Maybe I'm biased because I put it together and it just feels good to like have made it happen. But so many different types of people come together for so many different types of music, and it really makes something awesome. But the process of getting there is so stressful, and I've learned so much about honestly life, and I feel like I've learned so many skills that I've transferred into the beginnings of my career with an actual company. Communication wise, and just like working with the team and cooperating and booking and promoting and decorating a backyard to make it look like a festival, and so much getting involved with different organizations and vendors and food vendors and obviously musicians and different collectives. And it's a lot of communication, I would say, is like the biggest skill that you need.
How long did it take you from when you started, when you finished, to plan all that out?
Well, so we started at the beginning of the semester in January, and we had our first show in February. Okay. And so that one was kind of a quick turnaround, and that's where we definitely learned a lot, especially about each other, because we kind of just met. So we learned a lot about each other and how to work together and how to work with your friends, because friends in business, most business people will tell you don't bring those together. It's a hard thing to balance because you definitely are always going to have dissenting ideas. Compromising was the biggest thing. I keep going away from the questions. You asked how long it took. And then the second show we had, Earth Day Every Day, that was on Earth Day. So that was in April. We had a little more time. We had like 3 months to plan that one. Yeah.
What was something that you didn't expect when you started this? Maybe a good thing, like a positive, and then something that was difficult that you like worked through or didn't?
The one thing that was hard was that we were throwing an Earth Day festival but we were also throwing a party that creates a lot of waste.
Yeah.
And so minimizing that and making it so it wasn't a huge irony that we were throwing an Earth Day festival and making a bunch of waste. That was something that we didn't completely think through all the way until after, and we realized how much trash we made. And so we came back the next day and we got all of the trash cans and we dumped them in a truck, and we went to Charm, the center for hard to recycle materials. And we dug through, oh my God, it was disgusting. Like, we brought gloves and we dug through all of the trash and separated everything and recycled everything we could. So that was like a curveball because I wasn't expecting to do that with my Sunday afternoon.
Right.
But I feel better that we did that. Positive curveball? Well, the whole day, it was so stressful because all three of us, we like to have fun, and it was our event. And so we were kind of like all managing the festival while socializing and making sure bands were there on time, and then bands showing up and being like, okay, who's in charge? The organization of the day of the event, making sure that ran smoothly. But then the curveball, I guess, was that we got to do a really late night DJ. So after the event was over, we got to still do DJs until 3 a.m. And that was awesome because we weren't anticipating that. But nobody left when the event was over. Everybody just like stayed and hung out. So we're like, okay, well, let's keep the party going then. Yeah. It's really rewarding throwing these kinds of things, especially when they turn out good. It is so stressful though. I'm not gonna lie, especially building up to it. I'm not ready for when it's coming this semester. It's so worth it, but it definitely, just with school and 2 jobs, it gets to you.
Girl. It sounds like you could be an event planner.
Like I said, how on the land, I want to just throw festivals. So like, I'd like to build up to, and that's what Afterglow, I'd like to keep doing it after we graduate and continue working and growing our team into something.
I can't wait to interview you in 5 to 10 years. And you'll be like, you'll be living somewhere. I don't know why I thought Oregon, but like somewhere with a big plot of land.
Place.
Yeah. And I come and you're like, just, come sit down in the grass and record here. And I'm like, Izzy,
let's put each other's hair with flowers.
Yeah, exactly. Midsummer vibes, but without the killing.
Yes, but no cold. Yeah. Like, everyone there can worship me if they want.
Yeah, but no, you're like.
Well, I kind of wanted to ask you, because you're also working in the music industry, how you see being a female. Do you feel like that affects your role at all? Because I'm curious about just like asking women in the industry that in general, because it's in most industries it seems more challenging to be a woman, and there's a wage gap and all that. So I just was curious about your experiences.
That's a really good question. Nobody's asked me that. I think right now, because I'm in such like a small role, or I don't have that big of a say right now. Yeah. I think for me personally, I do struggle with being taken seriously and people actually think I'm even my age, because I'm 5'2" and I look like I'm 16. So
do you get ID'd like everywhere?
Oh yeah, it was weird. I went on a date Friday and then it did not go well. But that's beside the point. And then I went on another date like a couple weeks ago, and those were the only 2 times that I didn't get carded. But I realized it had nothing to do with me. It was the guys that I went on dates with had beards, so they definitely looked like they were older.
No, yeah. If I'm like around me and my roommates. I feel like we all look pretty young, but if it's like I'm around my coworkers, I never get ID'd because it's like
interesting. They just assume. Yeah, it's a good question. But
I agree with you about struggling to be taken seriously.
Yeah,
because I feel like I am a very goofy person. Like I said, I try not to take anything seriously. Yeah. So why would you take me seriously? Honestly, now that I'm saying it out loud, especially like working at this job I'm working at, where I have to personally go reach out to people, and I have to put on a very professional front. With my job, I don't really see it as much as I see it with DJing. Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting question. Do people think you're not a DJ when you show up? How does that go?
Someone put this best. She works at the 40 Watt doing sound, and she's a really good sound engineer, but she said that when she is there, people just assume she's like a woman taking up space, but when a man is just there taking up space, they assume he's in charge. And this is how she said it best. She said that when you're a man on the scene, people just kind of assume that you have this authority. Like if you're just a man who walks behind the stage, people just assume that you're where you're supposed to be. Or if you walk on a stage, and people just assume that's the DJ. But when you're a woman, you have to prove it. Same with like skills. I feel like people just assume that men, just because of like the power that their aura has, they just assume things. But when you're a woman, it's like, okay, prove it. I don't just assume that you have the skill. You have to actually show me that you have it. And especially with DJing, it feels like sometimes I do have something to prove as a female DJ. But I'm trying to not feel that way, especially because there are so many amazing female DJs nowadays. But I try not to feel like I have something to prove. Mm-hmm. But it does feel like that sometimes. It shouldn't feel that way. It should just be a fun thing.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on, Izzy. And I'm so glad we got to sit down and do this. I'll see you guys next week.
Live, laugh, love.
That is your new Instagram bio.
Live, laugh, love, yes. Okay. Don't not do it.
Yeah. Just be Izzy, basically. Face your fears. Thanks, guys.
Period. Bye.
Bye.